Hi, Orchard Grove family. I'm really excited about our new series starting today called Back on Track. You know, we get ourselves in a lot of trouble sometimes when we get off the tracks. And this is going to be a highly practical series of teaching messages about day-to-day life issues. And so we're going to talk about finance, we're going to talk about relationships, we're going to talk about work, our faith, all kinds of things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. The good news of the gospel is that we're saved by God's grace, and it's all about God's grace. And yet, life itself has a harder edge, as we know. And so what we find out is we reap what we sow. Sometimes we get ourselves off the track, and we pay dearly for it. And getting back on track is what this series is going to be focused on. Now, when one part of our life gets off track, it starts to affect another part, and then the dominoes keep falling. And so today, we're going to start with a special topic of finance, because when our finances are off, it starts to affect every other part of our life. And I'm really excited to introduce our guest teacher today, someone I know very well, and someone who has a great background in this area. He's taught at Orchard Grove in our financial peace classes before, and I want you to help me welcome my brother, Tim Cramer.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, hello, Orchard Grove.
Hello.
I know what you're thinking, another Cramer, come on. All right, so I'm not the brother from Florida. I do get that one a lot. I live about 45 minutes away. And a little bit more about me. First, what gives me the most joy is my family. Can we put that picture up? They got it, it's coming, all right. And I'm so proud of all of them. And another favor, Carter and Lily, can you bring me my magic band and my water? Thanks so much. All right, this is us. I'm looking up here now, sorry. This is us right before Christmas, getting ready and prepared. So it's my wife, Jamie, my son, Carter, and my daughter, Lily. So again, so proud of them. Thanks, you guys. All right, so I'm not a pastor. I'm actually a finance guy. A finance degree, banking, financial advisor, stay-at-home dad, Financial Peace University coordinator, founder of Easy Money Coaching, Dave Ramsey certified financial master coach. Now, I had to stay on my notes for all those. I've also been a member at Orchard Grove for over 20 years. We live a little further away, as I mentioned, so we do attend a church a little closer to home, but we definitely visit and stay connected online. So, all right, let's talk money. Relax, it's going to be all right. I've made lots of money mistakes, so you're not alone. I've also been around a lot of financial success, and I'm excited to share some of those experiences with you today. So getting back on track, or on track at all with money, requires a plan, some patience, and a purpose. So as we talked about, Financial Peace University can help you with building your plan. So I wanted to start with, why is money so hard? What makes it hard? Really what I should start with, one of my titles that didn't fit in there was stay-at-home dad, so I got to start with the dad joke. Is that all right? Yeah. All right. So a husband and wife are talking in the morning, trying to decide who's going to make the coffee. They're arguing a little bit on whose responsibility it should be. The wife says, you know, in the Bible, it says the husband should make the coffee. And he says, the husband responds back, I've read this cover to cover, and I have never seen anything about the husband shall brew the coffee. And she's like, there's a whole book about it. It's called Hebrews. All right. It was a long ways to get there, but. Okay, so in that book of Hebrews, when we're talking about something being hard, in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11, it says that no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So money can be hard. We live in a no waiting, you deserve it now, hurry, 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 go, go, go society. Because a lot of people will tell me when I'm talking with them about finances, well, that's great what the Bible says, but it's a little different now. But I still think there's so many great things there, right? We also live in a time where debt and the idea that more stuff is what's going to make you happy. It's everywhere. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, and a lot of people like to watch the game, and a lot of people enjoy the commercials during the game. That's the power of marketing for sure today, right? It is everywhere. I think one of the hardest things today is watching these social media. I call them highlight reels, right? Your friends, your neighbors, they're on vacation every other week. Wouldn't it be cool if the post said, this vacation was sponsored by Visa? Or, I borrowed all the money from the 401k to get this Corvette? Hopefully, after some planning today, we could put on our post, I saved and budgeted every single month to pay for this trip in full. Once in a while, when I'm talking to people about finances or what's so hard about it for them, they say, it's this person sitting next to me. They're causing all the problems. This is one that I've found is kind of interesting, is that money's actually pretty easy. It's abundant. That makes it actually kind of hard. I know what you're thinking. I'll take a little more money. But think about this. We know, most of us know, more money's coming. A paycheck's coming. It doesn't create the urgency that we have to protect it and take good care of it, right? My son Carter's 11, my daughter Lily is 8. They both have businesses and have both made money. One runs a spa out of the house. One runs another thing at craft shows. Money's out there. You can do it. Now, they're exceptional. They take after their mother for sure. But you guys are all special, too. We're made in the image of God. We can do it. And the last thing on money being hard that I find seems to be the most common. We didn't plan or prepare all that well. Now, a secret about me, maybe it's not too big a secret with my water bottle and everything, but is I love pretty much all things Disney. So when you go to Disney, you have to be prepared and you have to have a plan. You got to have your Disney shirt, right? Okay? You need a Disney water bottle. You need a lot of things. You need to do a lot of planning in advance. Disney has these things called magic bands, okay? It's all you need almost when you go there. You put it on your wrist. It's kind of tricky to get on there. And then what this thing does, it gets you into your hotel room. But the magic doesn't end there. If you want a souvenir, doop, got it, magic. You want food? You just use it. It's magic. If you want to get on a ride a little faster and you did your proper planning for Disney, you just scan this and you get onto the ride, skip the line. And then when you get home, the magic ends. They send you a paper statement that says how much magic you had. So Disney is a true master of separating you from your money, and it makes it hard, right? So with all those things in mind, how can we win with money in today's society when everything's supposed to be a little bit harder than we'd like, right? Well, Financial Peace University was created by a person named Dave Ramsey. I found a lot of different reels and things like that on Facebook from him. And he says, winning with money guaranteed. Now, I was a financial advisor, and one word we could never use was guaranteed. He says, if you do these 5 things, you will win with money guaranteed. Let's talk about those, right? Number 1, have a written budget. Number 2, get out of debt. Number 3, live on less than you make. Number 4, save money and invest. And number 5, be generous. So, if those are the things that guarantee victory with money, that's what we want to really focus on. And Financial Peace University expands on all those, but that's really what we're talking about today, right? Next in the Bible that I want to talk about with money is from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. It states there, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, and some people craving money have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." So I think we see that scripture quite a bit, or at least hear about it when we talk money. And what I find is everybody misses one of the key parts there, right? It's not money that's evil, right? It's the love of money. So what we're trying to do today is we're trying to show ways to take that love, which is just an emotion, take the love out of it, and then we're back in charge of our money and we can do the right things with it, right? I think of money as a tool. Tools are used to fix things. So money is basically just a tool. There's no emotion, or shouldn't be, when we plan it well. If you're hungry, you take some money and get some food. There's your tool. If you noticed it's 1 degree this morning and you live in Michigan, you take some money and you get out of here and go someplace warm. Money can fix that stuff. There's a thought that someone shared with me quite some time ago that's kind of stuck with me, and it was this. They stated, it's not a problem if money can fix it. So if you think about most of our problems, would a little bit more money help with that? Still early in the year, we're trying to get in shape. There was that inspirational video at the beginning. Everybody looked like they were working out and in shape, right? Well, if we could hire a chef at home, that would help. If we could hire a personal trainer, that would also help. Now, I know that money can't fix and buy everything. The co-founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, passed away at 56, and he was a billionaire. All right, let's talk a little bit about number one with Dave Ramsey, right? Budgeting. And what I think is funny about that is I follow a lot of different people that are financial experts now and financial coaches, things like that. And I just saw the other day a person said, oh, we don't teach budgets. What we teach is a conscious spending plan. You call it what you want. Then he went into, this is the categories, everything like that too. He presented a budget then. So you can call it what you'd like, a spending plan. But the one thing that I certainly know is when we try and just use magic instead of math, it turns out pretty bad, okay? So a budget is simply telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Back to our Christian life manual, right? The Bible, it talks a lot about budgeting and planning with money. In Luke 14, verse 28 through 29, it says, but don't begin until you count the cost. For who would begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there is enough money to finish it? Otherwise, you might complete only the foundation before running out of money, and then everyone would laugh at you. Another thing when you're doing a nice plan with money is it can reveal and you can stay on track with your priorities. Money reveals your priorities, where you spend it, your money and your time. I can tell what's important to you just by seeing those things. In Matthew 6, verse 21, it says, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. So where we spend it shows a lot. So we want to spend it in the places that are important to us. So it's really hard to win with money without a spending plan. Now we have fancy apps nowadays we can use. You can do a pen and paper one. I like Excel. But whatever the thing is, we need to have a plan. We don't want it to magically vanish, because that's what it feels like. And when you track anything, it improves. Some that I meet with and talk about finance with will say, I'd like to do a budget. I don't even have any money. I mean, why would I even bother? I have so little. Well, that's also addressed in the Bible, which is one of my favorites. It's also in Luke. It's Luke chapter 16, verse 10. And it says, whoever can be trusted with little can also be trusted with much. I think that's pretty good news, but we got some work to do. We got to start off. Once we get good at taking care of our money, it's stating here that we should be blessed with more. So your budget is just your plan. That's all it is. Everybody knows how to plan. You made a plan to come to church today. You're making a plan on where to eat. I like to plan Disney vacations. Kevin, in the classic Home Alone movie, planned a bunch of traps for burglars coming to his house to protect it, right? But sometimes the plans don't work out and they need to be adjusted. Does that ever happen to you? We can't give up. Let me tell you about a real life example of a plan not working out for me. It's from Disney, of course. So we were at Disney somewhat recently, and we were at the parks, the four of us, and my wife Jamie and Carter both were like, you know what, we're getting a little tired. We don't need to ride any more rides. We're going to go back to the hotel, have some dinner, and enjoy that. And I think that's a good idea. But Lily says, I want to keep riding rides. I like to ride rides. So I said, all right, let's split up. So Lily and I stay behind. We follow our plan. We go to the different rides that we have mapped out. And then we have one last ride left. And we even have the special pass for it, so we don't have to wait in line, okay? We go up to it ready to wrap up our day and end this park day, which has been so fun. And we go up there, boom, it's broken down, temporarily closed. Ugh. Well, I don't have a plan, but it's all coming up on 8 o'clock, and we haven't eaten dinner. So I didn't plan for dinner because I planned for rides. But Disney has a great app, too. You can go right on there and be like, quick service food. Doot, 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 doot. Here comes my chicken fingers. All right? And then it sends you a little message. These are ready. Well, I thought I planned a restaurant really close to us, and I walk up to it, and they say, that's not here. They go, that's over there. Way over there. And I start to be a little bit of a frustrated, not Disney fan for a moment. And Lily, love her, calmed me down a little bit and said, it's all right, we'll walk over there. So we walk over there, we find the food. We're trying to make the best of it, saying, I've never seen this part of the park before and everything like that. So we're doing amazing now. We enjoy our chicken fingers, and I keep watching on the app because you can also look on that too and see the ride's still broken. So we want to ride it. So we start walking back out. We've given up. We're going to go back to the hotel as well because the day's kind of ending. And I was like, you know what, let's walk right past the ride just to see what's going on, if there's anything happening there. So we start walking by it. Nothing. It's almost empty. And then out of the corner of my eye, so I see somebody. It kind of looks like this. It's an employee working there, and they come out like this. It's fixed! It's open! Let's go! And I was like, man, that guy is pumped. And I got pumped. And Lily and I run, and we are the first ones on the ride. It's the first time I've ever been the first one on the ride. It was great. And I use that example to say that when your plan gets off track, you need to be like that Disney guy. Man, that guy was excited. I don't know what he was doing back there, but he got excited. You need to be excited. We can fix it. Let's go. All right? That's the way we should feel when we're doing that. All right, we are crushing this, aren't we? Yes. All right. It's going so well. I'm going to talk about that person for just a second that's causing all your hardship with money, okay? Remember, relax, breathe. All right, so back to the Bible. In the Bible, it talks about marriage a lot too, right? And it describes it as a covenant, an agreement, right? Your spending plan or budget, whatever you like to call it, is just an agreement between both of you. Hopefully, we're budgeting together. We've seen the budget, both of us, right? We want to be in agreement on that. Couple things that your spouse can do for you on that agreement is, first of all, they can keep the crazy out of the budget. Has anybody had like a crazy money idea that was great at the time and turned out to not be so good? It's nice to have an accountability partner. If you're not married, find an accountability partner to look at your budget. So we don't want to have those dumb ideas in there. We want to keep the mistakes to a minimum. Now, I am extremely fortunate. My wife, Jamie, is an amazing partner with this. We've built a great system together that I'm proud of. But what if it isn't the case? What happens then? Well, I've had that happen a few times when I've met with couples. Maybe they're just even concerned about each other. It's not that they're trying to ruin the budget. So I have them come up with a few different financial concerns / goals, something financially related, 3 to 5 of them normally, separately. And then we come back together and we review our notes. And I like to have a little bit of fun. So in my mind, I have this thought that this is like the Pina Colada song. You guys know that song? If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. That one? Well, if you know that song, I can't believe I did that. All right, it's going to get worse. All right, so if you know that song, it starts out not so great. The husband, I'm guessing the husband, starts the song off with, I was tired of my lady. Not good. We've been together too long. Next line, right? I think I'm getting this right. It's pretty close anyway. And like a worn-out recording of my favorite song. So at least there's a favorite song in there. So there's still hope, I think. Hope's alive. But this isn't good. So what's he do? He's like, I'm going to look for a different one. He goes in what they call the personal want ads, which was from a while ago, but that's kind of how they did it back then, almost biblical times. All right. So he finds someone that says they like pina coladas. That's why the song, it's actually called Escape, but everybody calls it the Pina Colada song. So he goes and meets her. This isn't good at all. They set up the meeting. He goes there. And then guess who he runs into there? His wife, his lovely lady, he says in the song. And she's like, oh, it's you. And then they have a laugh together, it says. So that was a long ways to get there. But what I'm pointing out is they just didn't really know each other. They obviously hadn't budgeted to know they'd like pina coladas, because if you go on vacation, those are delicious. So it should be a meeting between the two of you, and maybe you come up with your own song. Like, I like to budget together. You love a man with a plan. Something. You write your own. All right. Let's move on. That's got to end fast. All right. Let's talk for a minute about debt. That's a great transition right there to debt. All right. In the Bible, Proverbs 22:7, it's very specific about debt. It says, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. There's a lot of the Bible that you read it and you're like, man, what is that saying? This is the opposite. This is extremely direct. You do not want to be the borrower in this situation. Let's think about that for just a minute. When we're talking about our why, our purpose, what's going to get us back on track and keep us there, what is our why? Well, imagine your life with none of those payments. There's no car payment, there's no credit card payment, there's no student loan payment, there's no mortgage payment. That would be pretty cool. Because we work too hard to not have any money. I wrote a profound statement that I didn't steal from Dave Ramsey or anybody else on my sheet. I know notes aren't that cool nowadays, but like if you were taking notes, this would be the one to write down. It's big. Debt sucks. I'm not sure I'm supposed to say that in church, but like I said, I'm not the pastor, so there we go. But one thing that's happened in all the reels I've watched or the financial teachers or even meeting with people myself, I have yet to find the story where someone says, man, I paid off my mortgage and I really miss it. I want it back. I wish I had that bill. No, you celebrate. You're excited. You're glad it's gone. All right. So I think we can agree, since I'm in charge up here anyway, that debt's not very fun. And we'd like less of it. I don't know many people that like more. So why do I strongly recommend Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University? Well, he's got a 7-step baby program, but it's not really for babies. The cool thing is no matter where you are, whether you're Warren Buffett or you just got your first job, it talks about how you should manage your money. So that makes the program pretty easy to understand. And I'll tell you, when they're doing the teaching, whether it's Dave or some of the people that work with him, it's pretty entertaining. So it keeps your attention. And I know a lot of lives that have been changed, mine for sure, by following the principles in that program. I don't remember the exact details of it, but I know Orchard Grove was offering this Financial Peace program a long time ago. And my wife and I were just dating at the time, so I'm really in the I gotta impress her stage, right? I'm still doing it, but I was really there then. Okay, I'm sure she's very impressed right now. Okay, so what happened though is, very oddly, but the church she was going to at the time also offered Financial Peace University about the same time. At this time, I'm working at a bank and I have a finance degree, so I know everything about money already. But I want to impress my wife, and she says, I'm going to take this class. And I said, they're offering it at the church I go to too. She's like, I didn't say I'm going to take it, but she's like, well, why, are you going to take it? I was like, oh, well, I mean, I could go audit the class, I guess. I'll check it out. But I would never say that. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. And then we got to talk about it together. I'll tell you what, she's been right about a million things, but that changed my life when I thought I knew everything. So that's one of the greatest things about it. If you follow the program, it works. That's the programs we want to follow, right? The ones that work. All right. Well, I hope that this was enjoyable for you guys a little bit, but this stuff is serious, and it can change your life. It can change your next generation. They say you can't take it with you. Well, that's true, but you can leave it for people that you really love and care about. So I know money is sometimes a tough topic, right? But I'll tell you what, I'm cheering for you. Pastor Chris is cheering for you. Orchard Grove is cheering for you. And the good news is that we serve a loving and forgiving God. And I think he's cheering for you too. In Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 19, it says, and it is a good thing to receive wealth from God and the good health to enjoy it. To enjoy your work and accept your lot in life, this is indeed a gift from God. That sounds like really good news to me. So work on that. Understand what your why is. Why do I want to do better? If you're doing great, then keep it up for sure. Make sure that your why is big enough to keep you on track once we get back on track. Because I will talk to a lot of people that way too, right? I went through Financial Peace University. I used to stuff the cash in the envelopes. I did all the stuff. We got out of debt. We did these great things. It was amazing. I quit doing all that, though. I'm like, why would you ever quit doing that? Think about this question for just a minute as we start to close here. If nothing changes financially this year, if nothing changes, what will that cost me emotionally, spiritually, relationally, if nothing changes? So I'm going to do a little call to action today for you. Two things, really. Gina talked about the card in the seat back there. That helps us plan. A plan is so important, right? You got to have your Disney plan. Disney plan. You got to have your Disney plan when you go there, but you also need a plan for your money, and the Financial Peace University can really help you with that. So I encourage you to fill out that card. We are not saying you're signing up. It's not saying we're going to debit your account to pay for it. It's just letting us help plan the level of interest so we can serve you the best way possible. Fair enough? Yeah. All right. And then secondly, everybody do something financially positive for themselves today. Start a budget. Go on your phone and see how many things you subscribe and you pay for that you don't even use anymore and cancel some of them. Save a little money. If you're doing great with money already, share some wisdom with someone that's not doing so well. All right. I think we did it. So, again, Super Bowl Sunday. Cheer loud. Cheer for yourself. You can do it. Go Lions. You can do it. Maybe next year. Think about next year, like I said, right? All right. Orchard Grove, let's stand. We'll have our closing prayer. Thank you, God, for over 2,000 money scriptures in the Bible, our life instruction manual. Encourage us as only you can to live by your ways. Fill us with the financial discipline, wisdom, and emotional support we need to get back on track with our finances. Let us be cheerleaders for each other to win with money. Provide grace and peace to those struggling with their finances. Give them the courage to make changes. We praise you for all the blessings we have already received and the continued blessings yet to come into our lives. We pray all this in Jesus' great name. Amen. Thank you, Orchard Grove. Enjoy the game. Let's go!